Well, welcome once again to Connect Groups. First, I just want to say it brings me such great joy to hear week after week the stories and the lives that are being changed through Connect Groups. It's such a blessing to me as a leader to oversee those ministries and to hear every week as leaders share with me just the great impact that Connect Groups are having in the lives of people. And so I'm just continuing to pray blessing over you as you continue to be in these groups, and I just thank you so much for being involved in Connect Groups. Well, I get the honor and the privilege this week to talk to you about hope. I think hope is one of those things that's so widely used in our culture. Everywhere we go, especially during this season and the holiday season, we see hope plastered everywhere. You can go to the mall and hope is plastered on the walls and it's telling you to have hope in this season. And you can even go to Hobby Lobby and you can buy something to hang on your walls to remind you to have hope. Well, even as a church, we want to be a place that reminds you to have hope and encouragement. That's what Pastor Matt talked about in his message, that through the gospel we have hope in any situation that you're going through, whether it's financially, whether it's relationally, whether it's physical things that you're going through. The hope for everyone is the gospel message, but there's more than just having hope in your life. The gospel message is about faith, and it's about acting on the gospel to call you. So whatever that hope is in your life, whatever you hope to be better in your life, we act on that in faith, and then that in turn changes us and makes us a healthier people. So whenever there's something that we need to change in our life, it's not enough just to have hope. We need to act on those things. As we read in Hebrews 11:1, it says that faith is the assurance of things hoped for. So faith is the action step that we need to take to make things happen or to make things change in our lives. I'm going to read a story here in a little bit that kind of illustrates this point, and it's from Mark 9. To set it up a little bit, I want to tell you that in this story, what has happened is there's a young boy that has a health issue, and he has asked, his disciples have been trying to pray for this little boy for that health issue to go away. But what has happened is that health issue is not going away. And so the father of this young boy approaches Jesus and he says, "Jesus, can you help me?" And Jesus, of course, they continue in this dialogue, but Jesus, of course, says yes. So let me read it to you. Starting in verse 21, he says, "And Jesus asked his father, 'How long has this been happening to him?' And he said, 'From childhood. And is it often cast him into the fire and into the water to destroy him? But,'" this is the key right here, "'but if you can do anything, have compassion and help us.' And Jesus said to him, almost kind of like, 'Well, of course I can do anything.' He says, 'If you can, of course I can. All things are possible for those who believe.' And immediately the father of the child cried out and said, 'I believe, help my unbelief.'" And see, this is the thing that needs to happen in all of our hearts, is we need to say, of course I hope for this thing. But we need to believe that Jesus not only wants to change that within our hearts, but we need to believe and have faith that God's going to take care of us and He's going to walk us through everything that we hope for change in our lives. And so today I just wanted to share that with you, and in your groups I want you to be able to discuss these topics, all the topics that we've covered in this series, and just kind of conclude with what you're called to do or what God is calling you to do in each and every area of your lives. But like I mentioned earlier, we as a church want to not only give you hope and encouragement, but we want to give you ways to become healthy in your life. So we begin to develop groups like wholeness groups and different financial support through here and there. And so we as a church want to support you in whatever way that we can. So our hope is that you and your groups this week can begin to kind of sit down and think of ways, not only areas that you think the church can help you in, but also give us suggestion as ways that we can help you more. It doesn't just have to be the things within your group, but it can also be things that you've seen within the church. As always, we want to be the hope and the encouragement for you, and so I pray that you take time this week to discuss this in your groups. Guys, I love you so much. I'm so thankful for all of you guys, and I look forward to hearing the great things that God's going to do in your groups this coming season.